Hello, beautiful people from across the lands. It is your girl, Tashana Nicole. Join me on my journey to financial independence by eliminating debt, creating multiple streams of income, and inspiring others to dream again. Hello, if you are new here, welcome back. If you are returning, today's topic I am super excited to get into, as this is something that has been a growing pain for me, but it is something that I am so glad that I began to master and began to get betterly skilled at when it came to saving my money. So these are 5 questions I really think that you should ask yourself as you're beginning to map out your savings plan, on whether it be an emergency fund or for sinking funds, whatever the purpose is for your saving, that I really feel like will help you really get a clarity on how and what you need to do to reach those goals. Question number 1, do I have a budget? Now, if you've been watching my videos for quite some time, we've asked this question a lot, but a budget is so foundational and it's so helpful, whether you're paying off debt, whether you're trying to save, because a budget lets you know what is coming in and what is going out. And it lets you know what I like to call your magic number. And your magic number is money that is either left over after your expenses are paid, but your magic number can also be 0 or in the negative. And the reason why I call it magical, regardless of what the outcome is because it lets you know your current financial status. If you have money left over, if you're exactly at 0, or if you are actually in a negative and you need to move some things around. So doing a budget and having a budget lets you know specifically, very clearly, on where you are financially. So that's the first thing you need to do before you start saving. Question number 2. How much money is left over after expenses are paid? Now, in order to get the answer to this question, you need to have the answer to question number 1. But like I said, having your budget lets you know what's going in and what's going out. And if you do have money left over after all of your expenses are paid for, this can let you know how much you can actually contribute to your savings. So you definitely want to identify that number if there's a number left over. Question number 3. How can I increase my income? Now, what you may find is that your budget may be just what it is. It may be tight. It may be just enough to be able to pay your bills, and you don't have any money left over, but you're also not in the negative where you have more bills than money. So if this is the case, you want to see, or even if it's not the case, maybe you have just enough to kind of pay, but you want to increase that amount to give to your savings to reach that savings goal a lot quicker. You want to see on what different ways that you can make money, whether it be a side hustle. I'm not too privy of saying like a business for that, especially if you are in the beginning of building a business stage, because there is time and investment that goes to building a business before you actually see a return. So you want to look at things that once you do this action, there's immediate return afterwards, like a side hustle, like Amazon Flex, Uber Eats, Instacart, all of those things that are out there, that's kind of out there in the gig economy. Like after you complete a task, you get paid. So you want to look into ways that you can actually make extra income to contribute to your savings to get to that savings goal faster. Number 4, do I have a separate high yield savings account? Now, I talk about this more in depth in this video here, and the reason why you want to have a separate account is that if you're like me, or sometimes I just find it to be best practice, even if you're not like me, if you see the money there, you tend to kind of dabble and dig into it. And sometimes out of sight, out of mind is better when you just have it saved away where you don't have immediate access to it. It's separate from your regular, checking and savings account that you may use to pay your bills, but you have a designated savings account, a high yield savings account that is specifically for your savings. And usually high yield savings account you can get for different like online banks. I personally like to use Ally. Ally or Ally, I never know how to say it. I think it's Ally. I like to use the Ally online for my online savings account, and it is considered a high yield savings because usually with your regular bank account, the savings account interest rate is very, very small, and even a high yield savings account compared to like investing isn't significant, but it's a whole lot more than a traditional savings account with your bank. So you want to make sure that you're positioning your money to kind of grow more on its own, and that you're putting that in a separate high yield savings account so you're not digging into it or being tempted to look at it once you see that number get bigger and bigger. And number 5, last but not least, How much money can I automate towards my saving? One thing that has been like the game changer to me to be able to reach my savings goals is automation. Once you've done that budget, once you know how much is left over after expenses are paid for, and you identify what you want to contribute to your savings, you want to put it on automation, because the less work, the better. We are naturally lazy human beings, and the way society is going, we are going to become more lazier. We like things that are convenient, that is easy and simple. And if there's anything that is easy and simple, especially when it comes to finances, is automation. So once you have that number identified for your savings, put it on automation so it can go directly from one bank account to the next, so you don't have to go in every week or every month to make sure that transaction is happening. You know that it is coming out automatically and it's going to go to that account. So automation is key to reach your savings goal. I hope you found today's video helpful. Drop down in the comments below what your savings goal currently is. You don't have to put the amount if you don't, feel comfortable sharing. But for me, my savings goal is to have at least 3 months worth of expenses saved. And that number will vary per household because your expenses are different from my expenses. And so that is kind of where I am with my savings goal. So if you want to drop in the comments of what your savings goal is below, I would love to read them. Happy savings, and I'm sending all vibes of dollar signs and dollar bills your way. So until next time, please remember to dream, believe, and achieve.